to my channel. As promised, I'm back with the spiritual house. This is the first episode, and I'm very pleased to welcome Annie all the way from Manhattan. Annie is an energy coach. She has recently started this work and she's made a lot of difference to many people's lives. So I welcome you on the show, Annie.
Hi, thank you for welcoming me. Happy to be here.
I'm glad to have you here as well.
Yeah, you just can see it's like morning time here.
Yes, I can imagine. So, Annie, how did you start this work and what exactly are you doing?
Yeah, so I've been doing this for quite a while now, and for the past 2 years when I started going on my own spiritual journey, and certain things happened, and I became spiritually awakened. And that's when I started to get more into spirituality and whatnot. And through that, I started discovering my love for helping people. And I realized that that was what I was placed here to do.
Right.
When your heart is light on fire after you help someone and made a difference in their lives. So that's when I started to explore this more. And it led me to energy coaching, which is basically shifting people's inner energies so that they can manifest their lives that they truly desire.
So, when someone comes to you for a session, when they approach you, how exactly do you take this forward? What is the technical part of the work that you're doing? If you have to explain it to someone.
Yeah, so what I do is mainly right now it's through phone calls, and we go mainly by conversation. So you can hear and feel someone's energy via their voice and just that, and their tones and whatnot. So if someone's coming up to me and telling me that they're having a hard day and their perception of the situation is, like, oh, my boss sucks, blah, blah, blah. So I explore that with them. I ask them, certain questions, and I have a certain structure in which you can just move someone up through the energy scale. So they go from, oh yeah, I hate my job to, my job's not that bad now that I think about it. Oh, like I'm actually pretty excited about certain projects. Oh, and then you can just feel it within their energy where they go from, something where they dislike to, hey, it's actually not that bad. And once their perceptions change, their situations, within their lives start to change as well.
So, apart from the conversation bit where you kind of, in a way, you're counseling them, what
Mhm.
energy work are you doing when you're working with them? What exactly are you doing? So, what exactly does energy coaching involve?
Yeah, so it involves just simply like raising the client's energy. So right now it is mainly through conversation, but eventually, it would be hoping to change people through like a mass scale. So in that way, like because I'm not able to, talk to my clients face to face occasionally, you have to discover like energy work is, you can feel energy no matter where you are. And so it's more like a distance energy in which you can just help coach a client because, each and every one of us, we're wise and we know our lives better than anyone else. So it's simply empowering themselves to know that the answer is within them and discovering that and opening that so that they have clarity on their own lives.
So, are you using a kind of technique when you're working with the energy of the person to raise the energy? How exactly are you giving them some sort of healing, or is there a technique involved in this?
So the technique is more just asking certain questions to kind of to get them to think. So my certain technique is simply just, empowering them by giving them empowering questions so that they're able to explore that within themselves. Because if I'm just, like with this, it's simply just, hey, like asking them certain questions about the situation, which they can kind of shift the perspective. So the main technique is giving the power back to the client and having them be able to kind of unleash that power within and through just questions. It's amazing just by questioning and simply just giving them inspiration and encouraging them can go so far.
So, in a way, you're kind of reprogramming their thought processes in conversation.
Yeah, and through that, not in a way by reprogramming them, but opening them to see like the things that they aren't able to see. Because if your energy is low, it's kind of like you're in a narrow path, right? But once you raise the energy up a little bit, your path gets widened. And that's when you're able to see things from different perspectives. So what I do is, and I get them to that point where they're able to open their mind a little bit more, so then they can see all these wide different perspectives of the situation.
And how is this different than a regular counseling session? How does this, how is it not the same as a counseling session? What is so unique about it?
Yeah, great question. So, what regular counseling sessions do is simply by focusing either on the past, but what I do is I move them forward, because when you're stuck in the past and you're revisiting the past, which is what therapy mainly focuses on, which is going from like a dysfunction to a functional person. What I do is I work with functional people and turn their lives to optimize. So then their lives become like the best lives that they ever live. So the main process is moving from, the present moment to moving forward, so that they have an action that they can do instead of just being stuck in the present. Oh, let me explore that. Let me see what's going on.
So what you're saying here is counseling is more like going to the root causes and talking about them and taking long sessions, whereas you start really ahead of a counselor, because you start with your today and you start with working on your today so that your tomorrow gets better. So it's more instant and it's faster in pace, perhaps.
Yes, yes. So it depends on what the client's situation and issues are, and then we move past that. Because if you're too stuck in the past or in the present moment, sometimes like you don't go anywhere, you're just still here. But we're trying to get you to a better future, a better tomorrow, a life that you really want.
So, for viewers who are watching this, in case some of them are feeling stuck at work, or they're
Hmm.
feeling hopeless because their careers are not moving, or they're not finding the right jobs, or they're not finding jobs at all, are there any tips you'd like to share with them that would encourage them to move forward from this?
Yeah, so my main tip is to really start to discover what you want within yourself. Because if you are unhappy in your current situation, you have to figure out why you're unhappy. And sometimes it's just simply just digging within yourself, having like an hour to yourself to really like understand, why is this affecting me so much? Like, why is this affecting me to a point where I'm just so unhappy about it? Because it could simply just be your body, your soul telling you, hey, like, this is not where you want to be. Please sit down and just, like, understand yourself, what your real desire is. Because I've noticed with a lot of people, when they're very unhappy with their career situation, it's because they're not aligning with their soul purpose. And that's why it's basically your soul being like, get me out, like, find another way, please look at something else. So really just sit there and like have a moment, like have an hour to yourself, and just understand why you're feeling this way.
Any particular tips for this? Because a lot of time people find it really difficult to pull themselves out. So, any
Hmm.
techniques that you suggest to your clients, or
Hmm.
is there a process that you suggest would be faster or more supportive of them doing it?
Yeah, so I would suggest kind of putting as an energy scale. So I'm calling an energy scale where you write down your current situation, and then it can be whatever, however you're feeling at the current moment, right? Because writing in general just makes it more, especially when you're by yourself, it makes it more obvious to you, right? And then once you write it down, what I really love to do is get in front of a mirror and just talk about it. Talk about it to yourself, see how it sounds like, and then really understand what the feeling is at that current moment. And then once you finish that, immediately ask yourself, what is a better way of looking at this? Or what is a better thought? What is a better feeling? So, what you're trying to do is reach to a higher level of energy. And then you come back and then you can write it down again. Or if you're more of a talking person, like talking from the mirror, and be like, like, this is a better thought. And then you just keep going higher and higher and higher. So you're going up the energy scale.
So this is almost like a self-evaluation kind of a process, and where you kind of connecting to your higher self. And I think that's what you help people do then, in a way. And I also read in your profile that you also do business coaching. Is that
Yes.
any different? Can you briefly speak about that as well?
Yeah, so with business coaching is more just simply like aligning yourself to your sole purpose. Sometimes in the beginning of business coaching, we have a lot of ideas of what we think society wants us to do, but not actually what our souls are telling us that we should do. So in the beginning, it's going to be a lot like if you're interested in becoming an entrepreneur, or like if you want to have your own business, it's more about like what is your soul telling you that you want to do, instead of just having like all the mumbly sounds from around the world. And then I have a lot of experience with business, so I'm able to bring that aspect, like, hey, like, how do you want to brand yourself? How do you want to talk to yourself about to the world? And how do you want to come across and such like that? Yeah.
So better presentation and a clearer view ahead, and looking at tips that would help actually put the business out there.
Yes, yes.
So that's great, Annie. It's been great, and I wasn't really very familiar with the whole idea of energy coaching, so it's something very new. But it's been great to hear you out and understanding how this works. Please tell us more about your services that you offer to people, about the websites, in case someone wants to get in touch with you to get avail one of your services. How can they do that?
Yeah, so I'm accepting clients from all over the world internationally, and you can check out my website at www.aniwey@com. Sorry. And I'm also on YouTube. You can check out my channel. It's ANI and then WEY at the same time. And I'm on all the other platforms as well. So thank you.
So that's really great. Thank you for all the inputs, and I'm very happy to have you here. It was my first episode of the Spiritual House, so I'm actually opening the show with you, and I'm sure it's going to do well. And I wish you all the best. I hope you spread this awareness across, because people right now really need it. Everyone's lost and they feel hopeless, they're confused, they keep changing their minds. And to find peace, they kind of move towards alcohol and drugs rather than themselves. So, what you're actually coming up with is saying that rather connect with your own self, and your answers lie there, and you help people do that. I think that's great work. And thank you very much for coming on the show. I wish you all the best for your future endeavors.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
This was my first episode. I'd like to thank you all who came and saw the show. There are going to be many more speakers, many more topics, and I will be around. So I'll see you around. Thank you very much.